the nascent cosmos pulsed with a vibrant, newborn light. The spark, no longer a mere essence but a conscious will, sculpted nebulae with gentle, deliberate strokes, weaving stars into existence from the very fabric of potential. Worlds began to bloom, teeming with the promise of life, a testament to its triumphant rebirth. Yet, from the deepest, most profound abyss, a tremor rippled. Not of creation, but of utter, ancient negation. An eye, vast and terrible, the culmination of eons of darkness, cracked open from the void itself. Its gaze, a chilling emptiness that swallowed light and hope, fixed upon the burgeoning universe and its creator. This was not a foe born of flesh or ambition, but the very architect of non-existence, the primordial silence that predates all things. It had watched, it had waited, and now, it had awoken to reclaim its domain. The spark, in its joyful act of creation, had painted a target across its own nascent existence. The eye of Oblivion regarded the vibrant cosmic tapestry with cold, unblinking disdain. It saw not beauty, but a fleeting anomaly, an affront to the eternal stillness. A tendril of pure shadow, darker than any void, began to unfurl from its depths, reaching, probing, a promise of annihilation. The spark felt its presence, a crushing weight against the symphony of its creation. The joy of Genesis curdled into a primal fear, a realization that its victory was but a prelude to an unimaginable war. This wasn't the end of the forgotten faction, this was the true beginning of their master's reign. The void was not merely an absence of light, it was a hungry entity, and it was now aware. The spark's pure essence, once a beacon of hope, now found itself the sole defender of all that was, is, and ever could be, against the ultimate darkness. The tendril of shadow surged forward, not with violence, but with an inexorable, creeping inevitability, seeking to unravel the very threads of reality the spark was so carefully weaving. Galaxies flickered and died in its wake, their nascent light extinguished before it could truly shine. The spark recoiled, its will tested to its absolute limit. It had overcome Oblivion's servants, but now it faced Oblivion itself. The eye, unblinking, watched the struggle, a silent testament to the power it wielded. It offered no challenge, no pronouncement, only the chilling certainty of its intent. The spark poured more of its essence into the universe, a desperate gamble to solidify its existence, to create bulwarks against the encroaching darkness. Stars flared with incandescent fury, supernovae blooming in a defiant roar against the encroaching silence. But for every star that ignited, the tendril of shadow seemed to consume 10 more. The cosmic dance of creation and destruction had begun anew, but this time, the scales were tipped precariously. The spark could feel its strength waning, its nascent consciousness strained by the sheer, overwhelming power of the void. It had been reborn, yes, but into a battle for which it was seemingly unprepared. The eye of Oblivion let out a silent, cosmic sigh, a vibration that shook the foundations of existence. It was not a sigh of effort, but of inevitability. The spark's struggle, though valiant, was but a fleeting resistance. The true conflict, the one that would determine the fate of all reality, had just begun. And as the spark focused all its remaining will on holding back the tide of darkness, a single, chilling whisper echoed not in its ears, but in the very core of its being, "You are mine." The eye of Oblivion, still unblinking, began to slowly, deliberately, close. But its closing was not an end to its gaze, but a promise of its return, a harbinger of a deeper, more insidious threat that lay dormant within the void. The spark was left adrift in a newly forming universe, the echo of that whisper a chilling reminder of the true power it had awakened, and the terrifying implication of its own origins. What if the spark itself was not a force of pure creation, but a fragment of something far older, far more terrifying, now turned against its former master? The question hung in the newly formed cosmos, a seed of doubt planted in the heart of creation itself, awaiting the dawn of a new, and far more dreadful, cycle.